It says on the front here, 僕の好きなは誰にも邪魔されない. Literally, I like it when people don't get in my way.
Wow.
Hello and welcome to the Abroad Japan podcast, probably the best way of learning about life in Japan without actually being in Japan. I'm your host Chris Broad, and we're joined as always by England's top Japan enthusiast, Mr. PeteDawson.com. Pete, how the devil are you doing? What's going on?
I don't like this new Pete.com. It reminds me of, was it Mega Uploads, Kim.com, that gigantic man who ran away. What we need is, we used to have Kim.com, we used to have John McAfee, and I do look a little bit like John McAfee these days, has to be said. But I think that we need another internet millionaire weirdo. We are bored of Elon Musk. Yeah, so Pete.com could be the new Elon, it could be the new Kim.com, it could be... but I'm trying to think what my business would be. In the last show, we spoke about my sandwich factory exploits. Maybe I could become a big, like the Pillow.com guy. He's sort of in with Trump, isn't he? I could become the next big kind of sandwich impresario, making the very best Japanese themed. Well, it's kind of like I could make like Japanese cream and strawberry sort of flavored Japanese sandwiches that people talk about all so much.
Well, as I always say, somebody's got to make the sandwiches.
Somebody's got to make... You're always saying that. You're always saying that, Chris.
It might as well. It might as well be you. Somebody's got to make the crisps as well. Look at this. I bought these earlier.
Oh.
Our new sponsor. They're not sponsoring us, but they should be. This is Bilica. And do you know what? It took me a lot of hard work to understand what Bilica was. I thought Bilica, and for those of you that aren't watching on YouTube, big yellow pack of crisps, bright yellow pack.
Looks like a manga. It looks like a cartoon, doesn't it? Yeah. And it's got a man with a shadowy kind of like coat on.
That's right.
And a flat kind of, I'm going to say South American general hat, sideburns, and a lovely pair of sunglasses on, looking very spooky.
That's right. And I thought, maybe it's like a YouTuber or someone who started their own crisps.
Right.
And it says on the front here, 僕の好きなは誰にも邪魔されない. Literally, I like it when people don't get in my way.
Because you're covered in crisps and you're all greasy.
Another quote to live
Nobody
by.
gets in my way, I'm greasy.
So I'm like, who the hell is Bilica? Who is this? And then on the back,
Bilica?
It's just like, as you eat these crisps, you might be wondering, what or who is Bilica? And it's Calbee, spelt backwards. And I was like, for fuck's sake.
Right, okay.
Is that it? It's just Calbee, Japan's biggest chips brand, and they've spelt it backwards.
Right.
To try and be edgy.
To make it look mysterious.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
And that is Bilica.
Retapere. Cirque. You'd be Cirque.
I'm kind of annoyed I didn't work out what it was, though. It's interesting, though, because Japanese words spelt backwards are slightly different, aren't they?
Yeah,
Calbee.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But you think that I think if they wrote it backwards in like phonetically, because that B at the start is a hard B, but if it's at the end of a word, it's a B. So yeah, I don't think it really works, guys.
Weird.
I don't think it really works.
It's weird. But let's find out if they taste good. Here we go. This is my lunch.
Right. Okay. Taste test.
There we go. Oh, they've got the usual sort of sterile
as big as
Calbee
his
look.
goddamn head. Bit of ASMR there.
Okay. Wow. I like cheese and onion flavoured crisps without the onion. Not bad.
Just cheese. Just like a flat
cheese,
quaver.
yeah.
What's going on there? Just cheese.
I like it when people don't get in my way. Don't get between me and my Bilica.
Who's the character on the back though?
I don't
'Cause he's got
know.
like a little guy sort of like smiling with his glasses like the Joker or something. I don't know.
That's Bill.
That's Bilica.
Bilica, when he's
very
happy.
weird.
What a weird fucking
he's gone,
product.
I eat crisps. My hands are always greasy.
There's no doubt Calbee have most certainly run out of ideas. My God. What if we just make the crisps backwards?
It just sounds like somebody's nephew has come on board on work experience, and they're somehow important, and they make us up a new crisp, will you?
Shocking.
He's like, you need crisps are not cool. You need to make crisps cool again, man. Who needs the smell of onion on their breath? Let's just make it cheese. Let's make the packet yellow. Let's turn the fucking Calbee thing backwards. I love it.
I won't lie.
We'll sell 1 billion.
They're fairly Moorish, though. I might buy them again.
Yeah. Stop eating crisps. I'm not allowed to eat. What I've got. Where's my crisps? Yeah. Do you have the word Pete on your crisps?
We do not.
They're my crisps. Cool Original. Official Pete Donaldson product. All right, yeah?
Spell it backwards. What does it say?
Yeah,
Etep.
exactly.
Etep.
Exactly. My other product. Greg Valentine's Bird Blood. You want a bit of that, do you?
Jesus Christ.
You want a bit of that?
It's no Bilica. It's no Bilica. No Bilica, my friend.
What else have I got here?
What is
Gabriel Knight. Gabriel Knight, The Beast Within. A Gabriel Knight mystery.
Oh my God.
6 CDs it came on. It was back in the day. Gabriel Knight was a Sierra graphic adventure. I love those games.
Good old Sierra.
But then around about the turn of the millennium, they decided that everything has to be full motion video. So they just made this really cheesy piece of crap video game. But it's the only big PC big box game I've got.
What better way? What better way to experience Gabrielle through Bilica crisps? Eating some crisps.
Here's another product you might like.
The Pokemon card.
No, it's not. It's a so we on the wrestling podcast Wrestle Me would laugh when usually men would buy lady wrestlers' clothing. There's like a real sort of vogue in wrestling to buy people's kind of discarded shirts and, costumes and stuff like that. And sometimes if there had been in a death match, it's blood, sweat and tears is all over it. But this kind of like collector's card my co-host Mark bought me because technically now I own a piece of female wrestlers' clothing.
Oh my God.
It says, congratulations, you now own an authentic Asuka worn shirt relic. And Asuka is there's like a big, very popular wrestler in Japan and in the US, and she's very good. She's one of my favourites. But I don't need a bit of her clothing. I don't need a bit of her kind of ring-worn clothing. But there it is. You can kind of absolutely creepy as fuck. I don't know why anybody would do that. But my partner found this like 6 months after Mark bought me it, and said, "Sorry, did you buy a Japanese lady wrestler's clothing?" I went, "No, I didn't. My course Mark did to lampoon me and make me look like a pervert." God damn it!
Pass the buck, Donaldson. Honestly, a good little gift though. What a shelf of treasures you've got there. Still haven't got any Bilica though, have you? No Bilica.
I've got a Bilica now. Yeah. Well, there was that famous Donald Trump card you could buy this week. Where
so good, yeah. Trump cards.
If you bought like 10 of them or something, they would send you an actual physical non-NFT card, and it would have a bit of the Donald Trump suit that he wore in the debate against Joe Biden that sort of, I guess, ended Joe Biden's political career. Amazing. It's very, very WrestleMania. Very
Get those Trump
WWE.
cards. Get
those Trump cards.
The commercial for it is just brilliant. It demands to be viewed if you haven't seen it. It's certainly quite the ad. We got a story this week from Stefan from Austria, who begins, "Hello guys, on my first trip to Japan I had an embarrassing experience on public transport. I needed to get back to my hotel, so I jumped on a bus. I'd been told about quiet transportation, so I wasn't immediately surprised with the silence that greeted me as I paid for my ticket. However, when I looked up and entered the passenger area, I realised everyone was staring at me. Now I'm pretty tall, 6'4", so I put it down to being a gigantic foreigner. Anyway, I was feeling quite self-conscious now, and in my haste to sit down, I managed to mid-stride hit my head, oh god, on a horizontal bar, which produced a beautiful and very loud metallic bonk sound. Boink. Thankfully it didn't hurt, but my hand instinctively moved to my head. I looked around again, knowing that everyone must have heard this in the quiet of the carriage, and saw that everyone was averting their gaze, and most people still had a normal expression, except one. I made eye contact with an old man, I'm guessing in his hundreds, who erupted laughing. His laughing was unencumbered, hearty, and totally joyful. Somehow, everyone else on the bus was able to withstand his contagious laughing. I took my seat quickly, chuckling to myself, but still wanting to get out of everyone's eye line. I wonder if he got home and told his friends and family about the gigantic foreigner who smashed his head on the bus, making someone laugh so wholeheartedly is a nice memory, even if it was at my expense. All the best, Stefan from Austria." Poor old Stefan. Stefan, bringing joy.
Oh, gigantic Stefan.
I mean, I've done that before.
Smashing his head on
I
things.
did something like that on the on a school bus myself, and all the students didn't avert my gaze. They just laughed at me. I banged my head, and all the students just
you're
just
all
laughed.
in detention, you little scumbags.
Extra
no
homework.
Calvi crisps for you, dickhead.
Translate the Bible into English. Go. Little rascals. But
wonderful.
if you've heard from anyone in Japan this summer, and the summer's now finally gone, thank God, for the most part. Although September's still pretty damn hot, in Japan. It turns out this summer was the joint hottest on record, which surprises me in no way, shape or form.
No.
Pete, fill us in on what's been a pretty treacherous summer that made me realise I don't want to be here in August ever again. I need to go somewhere, get away from here, going forward.
Something you say every year, but then
Yeah, it's true.
generally
I was opening a
find your
bar
way
this year. I had to be around, unfortunately.
Yes, data from the Weather Office shows that Japan suffered its joint warmest summer this year since records began, equaling the levels from last year. The long-term average temperature between June and August was 1.76 degrees Celsius above the standard value, the joint highest since statistics started being kept in 1898, the Japan Meteorological Agency said. Probably fine. Probably broadly fine, hey Chris. In central Tokyo alone, 123 people died of heat stroke in July when extreme heat waves saw a record number of ambulances mobilised in the capital. Southern Japan was, of course, also hit by a major typhoon last week, one of the strongest to hit the archipelago of 125 million people in decades. Typhoon Shanshan killed 6 people, including 3 family members in a landslide, and dumped rain across many areas. The increased temperatures have also basically decimated Japan's infrastructure. Train lines are bending, roads are melting, repair jobs are being postponed due to the health hazards. I think it was hot. It was too hot even for those kind of workman jackets that have little motors in them, a little fan sort of thing. But and it's not just the heat itself; it is the humidity that obviously makes these high temperatures feel even worse and stuff. It feels like it's a very oppressive heat. But hopefully, now we're well into September. /October, we should be sort of finding our way out of it pretty soon, or you will be. I'm fine.
You'll be all right. Yeah, in the UK, it's like, it's a little bit hot. It's 10 degrees. In Japan, hot means go outside and you could have heat stroke. I got heat stroke, I think, 3 or 4 times this year. The worst time I had it was a year ago. Actually, it was really scary. I think I mentioned I ran to catch a train and I was carrying several bags. And I was sweating, panting, puffing. I was kind of sprinting as well. But it was about 38 degrees Celsius with joke levels of humidity. And what makes humidity so dangerous is it means like the sweat on your skin doesn't really evaporate, or you just can't. Your body just can't cool down. Yeah, and I remember getting on this, standing waiting for the train at the platform, and everything started going black in my vision. I got like this. It was really weird. Like this black darkness started to enshroud my vision on the outskirts and creep inwards, and I had this crackling sound in my ears, and it's basically my body like switching down, like switching off almost from being overheated. My whole body was extremely hot, and like more than probably having a fever temporarily, and and I just as I was like on the cusp of passing out, I was leaning on this pole. Luckily the train turned up and I sort of stumbled onto it, and there was air conditioning on the train, and it lowered my temperature quickly, and that kind of sensation went away. But I've only had that once in my life. As a kid, I injured myself and I nearly passed out, where my ears crackled and vision went black. But it was really ominous. Like, if I'd collapsed there and then and the train hadn't arrived, I actually think there could have been some really serious health issues as a result of that. And that made me take heat stroke a lot more seriously. And I don't fuck about in summer now. But it definitely felt like quite a dystopian summer. It was notably hotter than any other year. There was a lot of typhoons and things going wrong. It felt like Tokyo was like a ghost town for several weeks because of the typhoons and whatnot. So, it definitely felt like a pretty notable summer, underpinned, of course, and underlined with the threat of the mega earthquake as well. It all felt like a pretty scary month,
very
August.
Yeah. Well, I was in Japan last August, and that was that it didn't rain a single lick, and I think it's the only time I've ever been to Japan, and I was there for like 10 days. Well, maybe a little bit more, 12 days.
Well, I wasn't there as well.
We didn't. I know,
Specially timed,
exactly.
so I wasn't there.
As soon as you left, because you have strong opinions about being there in August. We hit terra firma. But yeah, I was just really surprised that it was just so. That we just didn't get a lick of rain, which just I've never been in Japan and not experienced a lot of rain constantly.
Yeah, but I'll say it before, I said it again. Do not come to Japan in August if you can. If it's the only time of year you can, then do it. But I really do not recommend it. It's so hot you cannot enjoy the country.
It's doable in the city because everything's air conditioned.
Yeah,
but if you want to see anything pretty, it's probably not the best thing to do.
It's not fun having to constantly scurry to air conditioning units. Scurrying around. A scurry in Japan. That was me all this month, all last month. But hopefully it doesn't get worse. But I don't know. The climate is changing in Japan quite rapidly. Like snowfall is getting less and less as well in Hokkaido in North Japan, and the temperature's rising there too. So yeah, it's definitely some notable shifts even in the 10 years I've been here, to be honest. We'll be back in just a moment, guys, with the stories, comments and questions over in the fax machine.
Wow.
And we're back from the fax machine. What do we got this week from our listeners? Mr. Dawson, fill us in.
Rafa has got in touch, and it's a short and sweet one. Hi, Chris and Beat. What is your favourite British, Canadian, Japanese stereotype? Thanks, chaps. Rafa.
British,
Canadian, Japanese. What's a Canadian stereotype? Is it just that Charla's very polite and nice?
I think it's that they all eat poutine.
Right, okay, yeah.
Which is bloody delicious, to be fair. So good. Oh.
I think I've only ever had it like badly. I think I had it badly at an airport. I was on the way out of Toronto, and I was like, I have to get poutine. But I had it, and I was like, is this good?
Fuck no,
Cheese
it's
curds,
so good, man. It's so good. You get fries, and you got the cheese and the gravy. It is a real sloppy, horrible mess on paper, but it tastes like a dream.
Yeah.
And I love it. When I was over in Canada
dish?
earlier this year, I had it, and it's the best meal I've had this year. I want it now. I want it now. After my biruka, I'll go and get some poutine somewhere.
That has changed from what is your favourite British Canadian to Japanese stereotype? I like cheese. You can answer that for anything.
What's the Japanese stereotype? What can you think of?
I don't know. Japanese stereotype. What is the? I mean, everyone's sort of like. I think they're all good singers. We've spoken about that before. I think in the 80s, the Japanese stereotype was always that they would be really into taking photographs. There's a lot of they were just always like snapping away on like massive DSLR and SLR cameras.
Natsuki still does.
You don't see that very often.
Natsuki does. We just did a shoot over down Kyoto direction, and every step of the way, every human being we interacted with, Natsuki was like, I want to take a picture. And we have to stop what we're doing, compose a photo, me, Natsuki, Paul the cameraman, and the stranger we've had 4 seconds of chat with. We have to stand together, take a photo, and then off we go. It's a nice thing in some respects. It's nice that Natsuki wants to, share in the moment, document the travel, get people feeling happy.
A Konica moment.
But I think it was a real problem on Mount Fuji, because we've got to get to the top before sundown, before the restaurant stops doing food.
Stop taking pictures.
And he's
of
like,
everyone.
I want to take a picture of the same cloud again and again. And it's just, we all got a bit restless. But yeah. So I'd say that stereotype is still accurate. We got a question here from Antti from Finland. He says, "Hi, Chris and Pete. I'm leaving for a 3-week holiday in Japan in a couple of weeks. I'm taking my bicycle with me, and I'm planning to cycle at least some sections of the trip, most likely from Tokyo to Kyoto. I'm wondering if it's necessary to book accommodation way in advance, or can I make do with booking stuff, say, the previous day? Thanks for the podcast, Antti from Finland." Always book stuff in advance in Japan, especially hotels. I think you could get by booking a hotel the night before still, because that neck of the woods, there are quite a lot of hotels, quite a lot of capacity. But yeah, always try and book in advance just to be safe, and also be very careful of holidays and special days where people travel and hotels get full. Always book ahead.
Yeah, Yeah,
simple.
I mean, it's not like you're never going to find yourself in a place where you can't find somewhere to stay, because there's just always options. I love hotels and all that stuff. You know, there's always options. Or you can just sleep on the street, and it's very safe.
I will say though, cycling from Tokyo to Kyoto, don't underestimate it. It's quite the distance. Speaking from experience,
yeah,
it's not a cheeky.
Don't do it in
hop
August.
on the bike, innit? I'll hop on the bike and have a cheeky cycle down the road. Like, you've got like 2 mountain ranges to contend with on that journey. You've got the mega city of Nagoya, which is not fun to cycle through unless you stop at Legoland. And yeah, but I'm sure you're a very good cyclist. It's not every day that somebody brings their bike. Instead of cycling from Tokyo to Kyoto, I would pick some strategic locations to cycle, like Lake Biwa near Kyoto is a really nice place to do a lap around. Obviously, Pete and I have cycled half of it for a Journey Across Japan episode. It was one of the nicest stretches of the entire journey. The lake was beautiful, right? You enjoyed that.
You know how to treat a boy.
That's right.
You know how to treat a boy.
Well, we didn't have a map. That was a bit. We had a paper map only. That wasn't so good. But there's Google now. But yeah, just cycle around Lake Biwa. I think that'd be really pleasant. One last question from Bonnie, who says, "Hello guys, I'm not drinking alcohol at the moment. I wondered if Japan has much of a mocktail culture. I want to go to Lost Bar and try the infamous cocktails. Is it a faux pas to ask for an alcohol-free version? And what's the best way to ask for no alcohol in Japanese, please? I haven't covered it in Duolingo. All the best, guys, Bonnie." I noticed this. A lot of people got really worried when I posted about the bar last week. They were like, "I don't drink alcohol. I can't come." We got like a mocktail menu of really good non-alcoholic cocktails. And, yeah, I mean, I drink them a lot because I hate drinking alcohol in the bar and talking to viewers, just being a raging drunkard in the corner. That's not a good situation. Nobody deserves that. No alcohol. What is it? It's literally no alcohol. I think. Is it not? Is it not?
Well, I have no idea. I've no cause to use it, as they say. I think that was one of the first things you announced, though, that you definitely have mocktails in your bar. Mocktails.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can say like sake nominine desu. Like, I don't drink sake, but yeah, no alcohol. Alcohol means beer. Means alcohol, obviously. You can say alcohol nashi, no alcohol. But yeah, just say sake nominine desu. But don't worry, everyone at the bar speaks English, I think, so you won't have to worry about that. And it's abundantly clear on the menu as well. Yeah. But just say, like, no alcohol, and I think you'll be all right. I think people will get the hint. And most places in Japan do have good no alcohol options. Or you can say, like, soft drink, another option. Soft drink.
Okay.
Soft drink.
Soft drink. Yeah, I love that. Lovely.
You're all good. Good luck with Duolingo. Keep the stories, questions, comments coming in to abroadjapanpodcast@gmail.com. We'll be back, guys, later in the week to do all over again. But for now, have yourself a great few days, and we'll see you soon, right back here on the Abroad Japan podcast. Bye for now.